Yeah, module 2, which is about British expansion in India. British expansion in India. Please try to understand what all things you have to learn here. We have seen what we learned yesterday. Now, European penetration into India. We covered that first module, and this is paper 2, section A, modern India, second module, which is British expansion in India. Yeah, you have to cover British mastery over Bengal. British mastery over Bengal. Yeah, there is Battle of Buxar. You cover the Battle of Buxar. Then there is British mastery in southern peninsula or this South India. There is Anglo-Mysore Wars. Anglo-Mysore War. Anglo-Mysore War. When you cover this, you will have to go for its, there is a political dimension, there is an economic dimension, there is a social, cultural dimension. Okay, there is an international dimension. Yeah, of course, there is political dimension. All these aspects you have to cover very well in order to answer any questions which is asked from Anglo-Mysore rivalries. Okay. Then there is, of course, Marathas, the history of Marathas. I mean, Anglo-Mysore, Anglo-Maratha history. That's important. Okay, how the British, yeah, coming to Marathas, this is almost, this is the final, semi-final, and this is the final rounds. Almost they are going to complete the process of conquering Indian subcontinent. So how they conquered this Maratha empire? You will go through various battles. It also has different angles. There is, when you cover this, you will have to cover the angles. Yeah, there is social angle, cultural angle, economic angle, political angle, international angle. All these aspects you have to cover very well. Okay, Anglo-Maratha Wars ended up with that Bhima-Koregaon battle. You remember? Bhima-Koregaon. It is not just a political battle. It has many aspects also. You have to cover the social, political, cultural, intellectual, different aspects you have to cover very well. Then, of course, there is Anglo-Maratha Wars and the conquest of Punjab. Punjab, how the British conquered Punjab. Okay. Then there is conquest of Sindh annexation. Okay. So this is the module 2, which is British expansion in India. Definitely, when we cover the history, we will have to go for various angles. This is actually a 360-degree kind of analysis. No, this is not just the political history we study, the political, economic, social, cultural, okay, maybe religious and various history, national, international, everything we touch. Then only you will be in a position to answer exactly to the demand of the questions. It is always nice to have a look into the questions what UPSC asked. This is our strategy. All modules the questions okay. I mean, that will help you to understand where you have to focus in that particular module. Okay. Coming to this one, verdict of Plassey was confirmed by English victory at Buxar. Or the colonialism, the seeds of colonialism or the seeds of imperialism sown in the Plassey and it flowered by Buxar. Am I right? Yes, the verdict of Plassey was confirmed by English victory at Buxar. Verdict of Plassey means, yes, something kind, there is a signal given that, the next ruler of India can be the British. They monopolized the trade of Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. Or they will alter the political and economic perspectives of India. Am I right? Some verdict is made in the Plassey victory and it is confirmed by the Buxar Treaty of Allahabad. Okay, the submissive allies, like the Mughal emperor reduced to nothing, Awadh ruler reduced to nothing, Mir Qasim reduced to nothing. Then there is only one ruler, that is the British imperial rulers. Okay, some verdict is confirmed by Buxar. Mysore considered a threat by British to their possessions and mercantile interest in the south. Not only because of their control over Malabar coast spice trade, പല കാരണങ്ങളുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. Even their collaborations with the Dutch French can be a reason. Okay, the territorial might can be a reason. Their advancement in or Europeanization, modernization of army can be a reason. Control of these very strategic ports in the south can be a reason. Their collaborations with the diplomatic ties with these anti-British allies can be a reason. So why this Mysore treated to be threat to the possessions and the imperial interest of the British in the south? Do you think Tipu Sultan's posturing became his undoing? For which you have to cover first, second, third, fourth Anglo-Mysore wars. Am I right? Yes, the Treaty of Bassein. Treaty of Bassein, a step which changed the footing on which we English stood in Western India. So Treaty of Bassein, we have to study something. Treaty of Bassein, how it played a significant role in the British history in India. Now there is, explain the British policy of subordinate union. British policy of subordinate union. You must have a clear idea about the British policy of subordinate union. You heard about British policy of subordinate union, subordinate isolation, British policy of ring fence, British policy of subsidiary alliance. All these are important for you. Hello? Pawan, hello? Pawan, actually I am in the class now. I am taking a session now. I informed the issue, your technical issue to my digital team. They will resolve it very soon, okay? Okay, Pawan, okay. Now, British policy of subordinate union. You heard about British policy of subordinate union? Do you ever think of subordinate union versus subordinate isolation? Have you ever tried for, how could you distinguish subordinate union with subordinate isolation? Then there is policy of ring fence. There is policy of doctrine of lapse, subsidiary alliance, different British colonial imperial policies. It's diplomatic policies, and it is part of the conquest and consolidation of building British Indian Empire here. Am I right? Yes. British conquest of Sindhu was political and moral sequel to first Afghan war. Examine the essential principles of subsidiary alliance system. So from the questions it is clearly understood that we have to cover how the British conquered India, how they made British India one by one, step by step. Am I right, Nidhu? Yes, how they conquered this Eastern India, Northern India, Western India, Southern India, what kind of the military might being proven, what kind of the strategies and diplomacy being proven in establishing their imperial authority over Indian subcontinent. All these aspects you have to cover up very well. Also, you have to build up a critical analysis on various activities or acts of British in India. Am I right? There is Anglo-Mysore wars, Anglo-Maratha wars, Anglo-Punjab or Anglo-Sikh war, or Sindh annexation, and through the diplomatic policies, how they conquered India. In all these perspectives, you will have to develop a critical analysis also. Am I right? Exactly. Yeah. Yes, what all the reforms of Tipu Sultan, what all the stand of the Tipu Sultan, what all the initiatives taken by the Tipu Sultan that eventually resulted in his own failure. Okay. There are questions, many more questions you can see here. There begins the second module. We have discussed till Plassey, the Battle of Plassey, causes, consequences, its after effect, long term, short term impacts, everything we discussed yesterday. Am I right? Yes, going for this. Now after the Plassey, which year Plassey happened here? 1757. After the Plassey, what happened? After the Plassey, what happened? Yes, this British East India Company, yes, they established the stronghold over this eastern commerce, or they monopolized the trade of this Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. Am I right? Yes, the first point. They become the strong and commanding, they hold the strong commanding position in this Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. Okay, and the actual drain of wealth started here. You remember drain of wealth? Drain of wealth? That can be in various constituents of drain of wealth we discussed also. Okay, so the actual drain of wealth started here. actual drain of wealth started here. That can be in the form of, yes, that can be in the form of collecting this huge quantity of raw material for cheaper prices. Raw material for cheaper prices. Then you can see that selling their products in these Indian markets, that is opening up the free markets. Okay, without the taxes, without the customs duties, they started selling their industrial products in Indian markets. So opening up the free markets is, yes, let's say that was also a constituent of this drain of wealth. Yes, that is one-way free trade. That officially, constitutionally, that was by 1813 Act. But even in the 18th century AD itself, you know, that the free markets being opened in different parts of India. Am I right? Yes. Now again, you can see that, yes, it is bribes and gift. They started collecting huge bribes and gift from Indian landlords, zamindars, and these Indian rulers. Am I right? Again, you see, for their investments here, they got a fixed interest. For their capital investments here, they got interest. That was also one of the way of draining wealth out of the nation. Again, we said there is dividends. The company is paying dividends to its shareholders. Am I right? Company paying shareholders or stakeholders the dividends, and dividends is paid from Indian exchequer. Yeah. It is not from the grandfather's pocket of the British ruler. Am I right? It is only from Indian exchequer. So that's again dividends, and it is paying the tributes. Yes, it is tributes in the form of paying tributes, different tributes. I mean, annual tributes to British crown. It is also paid from Indian revenue. Am I right? Then again, we have seen the company agents and officials, their salary, okay, their pension, okay, and the incentives for their honeymoon trips. Everything is paid from Indian revenues only. Am I right? Home charges, the pension salaries and incentives for the company officials, you know, in England, the court of directors and all. So all is paid from Indian revenues only. So all this way they started is looting the wealth of the nation, and that way loot also become an English word. Am I right? Yes, Mir Jafar, the Nawab of Bengal, after defeating Suraj-ud-Dawla, okay, Suraj-ud-Dawla got Nirvana, enlightenment, gone in the air, okay. After that, they installed this Mir Jafar. Mir Jafar was a puppet of the British, okay, Ombra kind of Raja. Whatever the British say, he will execute. That was this Mir Jafar. So this Ombra become the next Nawab of Bengal. He become the next Nawab of Bengal. Undisputed right to free trade in Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. So he is a stamp Raja, or he is a puppet Raja. Okay, so it's a kind of article Kunjirama kind of, you know, that kind of a Raja only. And this British got undisputed rights over free trade in Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. Okay, no disputes. No disputes. Nobody will challenge their supremacy. They got the monopoly over eastern trade, Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. Zamindari of 24 Paraganas near Kolkata. Zamindari, I mean the revenue collection rights of the 24 revenue bearing villages given to British East India Company. Okay, they got the right to collect the revenue from 24 rich districts of this Bengal. Okay, this is the beginning of this, how the Bengal gradually become a famine state. Okay, the most richest province of India gradually become the ദരിദ്ര നാരായണന്മാരുടെ ഒരു സംഗമ ഭൂമിയായിട്ട് മാറി. പട്ടിണി കിടന്ന് മരിക്കുന്നു. ഫാമിൻസ്, കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ഫാമിൻസ്, എല്ലും തോലുമായിട്ടുള്ള മനുഷ്യന്മാർ ഒരുത്തനൊരുത്തനെ ഇഴിച്ച് ചോര കുടിക്കുന്നു, മാംസം ഭക്ഷിക്കുന്നു. Okay, so the most richest province of India gradually become the poorest and poorest province of India because of this British loot. Okay, Mir Jafar, see, he is paying compensations to company. Okay, after Plashi, he started paying compensations to company, large sums of gift bribes paid to the company higher officials. Then see, treasury was soon emptied. Continuously paying. British, whenever the British comes, he, you know, used to or continued paying to British East India Company officials and its administrators and all. Gradually the Bengal treasury is emptied. Kaliyai. Onnum vechittilla, onnum micham vechittilla. Criticized the Nawab for his incapacity in fulfilling their expectations. Then British East India Company said, താനെന്തൊരു ഊളനാടോ, തന്നെ രാജാവാക്കിയത് എന്തിനാണ്? കണ്ടിന്യൂസ്ലി തന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കാനല്ലേ. കുറേ തന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞ് താൻ പറയുന്നത് തന്നെ കൊണ്ട് തരാൻ നിവൃത്തിയില്ല. ഓക്കെ, അതെങ്ങനെ ശരിയാവും? യു ഹാവ് ടു കണ്ടിന്യൂസ്ലി പേ ടു അസ്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വൈ വി മെയ്ഡ് യു ദ രാജ. ഓക്കെ, യു പെയ്ഡ്, ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഓക്കെ. ദ പാസ്റ്റ് ഈസ് പാസ്റ്റ്. British East India Company say we live in the present. So continue paying. Otherwise you will be stuffed on the wall. That is a British policy. Okay, continue paying. Otherwise you will have to face the consequences. Mir Jafar said, see, British East India Company, my lord, I have nothing left, only my underwears, you see. Everything I given you. Nothing is left with me. What should I pay? Are you getting the logic? Are you getting the logic? Everything I continue to pay you, so I continue to impress you. You are not impressed. What should I say? What should I give you? My kidney is left with me. Okay. Or my body parts left with me. Even that also I should place in sale. Amazon, Flipkart. How can I satisfy you? Nothing left with me. My treasury is empty. I used to have this paranganji and chutney. Okay, biryani, I forgot the day I eat biryani. What should I do? Yes, Mir Jafar had many tensions. This you have to bring into the answer. Maybe the backgrounds behind this Buxar battle. What all things eventually leading to Buxar battle? You see, there is revolting soldiers. Mir Jafar, his own soldiers are revolting against him. What a mockery, Raja, you are. You give a salary. Okay, give us salary, no food, no medicine. Okay, give us salary. So the soldiers are revolting. Soldiers are revolting, Nido. Rebellion of Zamindars. Zamindars become so strong because this guy, Mir Jafar, is demanding a revenue from Zamindars. Zamindar says, from which church we have to collect the revenue?